This movie is specifically to help a friend who has an issue with her Superba racking mechanism. Actually, this is the first time we've had occasion to go this far inside of one, so we thought everybody might like a look. If yours doesn't need any attention, it's just purely interesting. If it does, maybe this will help you. Because it was our first time, and you are looking at views of various stages of undress of the machine, we undoubtedly didn't go into it the absolutely most efficient way. So what we'll do is take the opportunity to clean up the rust you see and some dirt that I found while we're in here, and when we reassemble it, try to make some sensible movies about the best and most efficient way to get in. This is the racking mechanism, still assembled but completely uncovered.
All right, I'm indicating the grooves that are in the actuator rod, that the two steel balls that our friend is missing should be clicking into those grooves as the rod moves back and forth to move the bed. And underneath that black piece right ahead of my thumb, we're going to take that out, and hopefully there'll be two steel balls in there.
My friend is pretty smart. She got down to this point on her own, got the actuator bar off, and was able to see the position where there should be two balls. She was inspired to do all this because she realized she did have lateral movement, as she should with the racking mechanism, but she couldn't get it to stay in a given position.
The way that works is one ball is here and one ball is there, and you see the mark on this lever where the lever has rolled back and forth across those two balls.
So for them to be missing, this had to be disassembled at some point in the past.
Right. And you see there's a little tang right there, a small tang here that goes into that declivity that lines this up so that when the screw, see this is another hipped nut, and the hip goes down in there like that. Now everything's lined up. So this goes back and forth to put more pressure on either ball for the racking.
And they should be in those sockets. And before we reassemble, guess what I'll be doing?
Cleaning.
We have one of these sitting in each hole, just as we should. My friends are totally missing, so she needs the measurements to see if she can replace them.
Now that looks to me like it is...
Looks like 5 millimeters.
Yes, that's exactly what it looks like. I will get my standard American micrometer to measure one, but then we're going to have to do a conversion.
So what that reads is 0.197 is what it looks like to me.
We'll do a little math and a quick conversion. The math shows that, yes, indeed, this measurement does represent 5 millimeters.
And if you look at the end of the micrometer tips
against the metric scale of the ruler, you see it is straddling 5 millimeters.
Right.
And you believe them to be mild stainless steel?
Yes.
They definitely are something with an iron component because they were magnetic.
Yeah, they did respond to the magnetized wrench. And 400 stainless to 800 stainless is non-magnetic. So this is mild steel, mild stainless steel. That's the reason it's not dirty, and this is all
in other
rusty.
words, the low end of stainless.
Right.
So I did a Google search to see if you had to use a scientific supply store, but no, there were 64 sources for 5 millimeter 304 stainless balls. Now, some of them said they were absolutely non-magnetic, so that's their claim, but they would absolutely work in this instance. I found that they are used for fingernail polish. You drop a ball in the jar and it can shake it up to keep it mixed. I found them by the 100 for about $6 to $9.